Years ago, while perusing through an issue of Bon Appétit magazine, I came across their recipe for shockingly easy no-knead focaccia bread. And let me tell you, it is shockingly delicious. This card has been in my recipe box for years. I bake it all the time. It's really easy. I'd love to share with you how it's made. Hi, my name's Nancy. Welcome back to Nancy's Homestyle Kitchen, where I share how to cook real food with simple ingredients and no pressure to be perfect. So let's start by activating our yeast. We're gonna start with adding 2.5 cups of lukewarm water to a bowl. If you've seen any of my other bread making recipes, you know this is, I call it baby bottle warm. It's the easiest way to describe. I have 2 teaspoons of honey. And then we're gonna add, so the recipe calls for 1 package of active dry yeast. I use instant yeast. I get the brick of it at Costco. I've used it for years. It works every time. So instead of the active yeast, I'm gonna use 2.25 teaspoons of this instant yeast. And you can just eyeball it. That's fine. So mix this up. We want to get that honey dissolved in the warm water, get all the yeast incorporated as much as possible. And then we're gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes until that yeast is activated. We'll see it's nice and bubbly on the top, and then we'll add the next ingredients. Okay, so here, it just looks like kind of muddy water. So let's just let that sit for 5 minutes and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, it's been about 5 minutes, and as you can see, there is a little foamy creaminess on the top of the water, so we know the yeast is good and alive and activated. So to this, we're gonna add 5 cups of all-purpose flour, which is about 625 grams if you're measuring. And in the description, I'll put all of the measurements. So let me count and not talk because I'll lose count. 2. Don't you hate that? You're counting something and then someone interrupts you and then you have to start all over again. 4 and 1 more. I'm gonna have to have my assistant go get me some more flour. All right. Like, I don't really have an assistant. I just have a very willing and helpful husband. So I'm gonna give this just a little mix just to get it knocked down into the water. And then this is 1 tablespoon of salt. The recipe calls for kosher salt. I've used kosher salt. This is the real salt, sea salt. And then we're just gonna get this all incorporated. And you can either cover this and leave it on the counter to rise for 3 to 4 hours, or this is a recipe you could put in the refrigerator. This focaccia bread, to me, my favorite time to eat this focaccia bread is right when it comes out of the oven, because it gets this crispy crust. You could taste the olive oil with a little salt. I like to sprinkle a little rosemary on top. It is just so good. Okay. Sorry, I don't have a clear bowl for you, but I'm gonna put it into this bowl to do the rise. And so to this bowl, it seems like a lot, but you're gonna add 4 tablespoons of olive oil. And then all you have to do is put the dough into this bowl, and then we'll turn it, cover it, and let it rise for on the kitchen counter in a nice warm spot for 3 to 4 hours. And then there's another step where we'll turn this out into the pan, kind of dimple it, we'll let it rise again. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but there is a lot of oil in this bowl with the dough. Seems weird, but it works. because you're gonna dump all of this with the oil into the pan that you're gonna bake with. So we want to kind of give it a flip in the bowl because we want the oil to kind of go all the way around it. So let me see if you can see this, but there is oil coated on the top of the dough as well. So I'm just gonna cover this with plastic wrap, throw a towel over it, let it sit here on the counter for 3 to 4 hours, and then I'll show you what the next step is. All right, it's been 4 hours, and this is what our dough looks like. So you can see it has doubled in size, and we are ready to do the next step. So what I have is a metal 9x13 pan. I have generously buttered the bottom of the pan. To this, we need to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. And this butter and the olive oil in the bottom of the pan really make the bottom of this focaccia bread just so crispy and good. So I'm just going to spread it just around. The butter is already coated over the whole pan, so we don't really need to do that much. So before we put the dough into the pan, we need to, this is a no-knead recipe, but we do need to fold it in over itself. Let me actually switch this here so this camera over here can pick it up. Just take 2 forks and you're gonna go down, lift, and fold. Give it a quarter turn, go down, lift, and fold. And we're just gonna do that on each side. So just 4 times. And you can see there's a lot of olive oil down on the bottom of the bowl. It's on the dough. Okay, and then one more. I'm gonna kind of scrape the side, and I'm gonna lift and fold. That is the extent of the kneading, if there was any kneading in it, but that's why they call it shockingly easy, no-knead focaccia bread. I have a dough scraper, so let me get this where y'all can see it. You can see the oil's coming out, and I want all of that dough. So I'm gonna scrape this out. This is the kind of dough you don't want to put down your garbage disposal. So if there's any left in your bowl, just kind of scrape it, wipe it out with a paper towel. And you definitely do not want to get that down in the disposal. Okay, so here is our dough. It looks like it's nice and coated. All of the olive oil from the bowl, all that residual olive oil is in here. There's enough olive oil on the top. I don't feel like I need to flip it over again, even though technically the directions say once you get it in here, go ahead and flip it over, but I don't see what it's gonna do because this is very evenly coated with olive oil. And you'll see we already have some bubbles forming because this is just a really nice active dough. So this sits here for about an hour and a half. It'll fill in the pan and it'll rise one more time. Then we'll be ready to bake. So I also want to show you how you can make a thinner focaccia that is perfect for sandwiches. The one that I'm making in the 9x13 pan is actually a thicker focaccia, and that one is great to serve with dinner or soups, things like that. This focaccia is great for sandwiches. So I have another, oh man, this is totally gonna stick too. I have another bowl of the same exact dough, same quantities and everything. But we're gonna put this into this sheet pan, and I believe this pan measures 12 by 17. So same thing, I have it buttered. I'm gonna go ahead and put some olive oil in there and spread it around. A couple years ago, my husband and I did a Mediterranean cruise, and we stopped in Genoa, Italy, and walked through the town and had the most amazing focaccia sandwiches with pesto, because that's where pesto comes from. And it's just, I love just a really thin focaccia sandwich, so this bread always turns out great. So same thing, we're gonna knead it by just picking it up and folding it in over itself. Then we'll put it into this pan and we'll let it rise. Okay, and 4, so here is our 4 turns with the forks. Oh, this bowl, I don't want to drop this. It's kind of slippery with all this oil. Dump it out. I'm going to scrape all that residual oil in the dough out. Okay. Now with this one, I have clean hands. You're going to want to just kind of start giving it a head start of stretching it out and spreading, because this is also going to rise, but we do need it to fill in this pan. So just kind of pick it up. It's actually kind of fun to work with. It's like slimy Play-Doh. Don't tear holes in it though, like I did. We're gonna let this one sit, and it'll take about an hour and a half until it fills in the pan, and then we'll come back and we will cook this one too. It's been about an hour and 45 minutes, and as you can see, it has completely filled in the pan and doubled again. So now we're gonna make the classic focaccia bread dimples, and you just go in with clean hands, and you just wanna poke and go all the way to the bottom, okay? So as I've dimpled it, you could see some of the air bubbles are coming out, but you should, it looks like focaccia bread. There's little dimples all over it. Make sure you have some type of a paper towel or something handy. Then we want to take flaky sea salt and sprinkle all over the top. It's probably a good 2 teaspoons in total. And this is optional. I like adding some rosemary. If I had fresh rosemary, I would definitely use that, but I don't. So I am just going in with dried rosemary. To me, rosemary and focaccia bread just go together. We will be putting a garlic butter over the top of this after it has baked. So that will just add another dimension of flavor. All right, my oven is preheating up to 450 degrees, and then as soon as it's reached temperature, we'll go ahead and pop this in the oven, and it takes about 20 to 30 minutes. I wish you guys could smell how delicious this smells. This is just right out of the oven. You could smell the olive oil, you could smell the rosemary, and just warm, fresh baked bread. So while that was baking, it took exactly 20 minutes. So, you know, I took 4 tablespoons of butter. It was actually probably about 3, and 2 cloves of garlic. I minced the garlic, melted the butter, and it's unsalted butter. And you just want to brush the top with this garlic butter. Oh my gosh, could you hear how crispy it is? This is so good. This with some spaghetti, any kind of pasta, just a big salad, like Italian salad, or a zuppa toscana, your favorite kind of Italian soup. This is just perfect. So I want to take it out of the pan and put it onto this wire rack so it can cool. And it's so loose, like it is not stuck in here at all. And that's because of all the butter and the oil we had in the pan. But let me see if I could tilt this up at all so you can see how crispy the bottom is. Can you see that? It is just nice and crispy all over. I can't wait. Let's just cut into it and taste it. It is, I think it's really been out of the oven for probably less than 5 minutes. Oh my gosh. You can see the steam coming. Woo-hoo. Look at that. Would you look at that? Does that look delicious? I think it does. So corner piece is always my favorite, whether it's a brownie, a piece of lasagna, or this bread. It doesn't need any butter. It doesn't need any more explanation. It just needs a good bite. It's the crispy bottom. And hot too. Could you hear the crunchiness of it? And then the inside is so tender. It is beautiful. Anyway, I hope you give this recipe a try. I think you'll really like it. It's easy. It just takes a little bit of time, just letting that bread rise in those two phases. But otherwise, you can see it's pretty hands off and it just cooks up beautifully. It also warms up great if you want to make it ahead of time and take it somewhere. I've taken it to someone's house and then just popped it in the oven for about 10 minutes just to warm it back up. And it's just as good. Anyway, if you like this type of content, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing, and I will be back next week with another recipe from my kitchen.